Playing the right game. I encourage you to read the Harvard Business Review article, The Right Game, Use Game Theory to Shape Strategy, by Brandenburger and Nailbuff. It describes a framework and gives several examples using this framework on how to create value and how to capture value in a network. In their framework, they have on a vertical line the supplier, the case company, and the customer. On the horizontal line in the framework, they have a substitutor, the case company, and the complementer. We often think only about our competitors, and the writers of the article want to underline that adding a substitutor and a complementer into the picture allows one to see more opportunities. Business is not just about competing, but it is also about cooperating. A framework which has both a horizontal axis and a vertical axis creates a network. In a network, there are opportunities to both create and capture value. The article describes several examples of value creation and capturing. One can attempt to change players, the added values of players, the perceived rules of a game. One can use tactics, and one can change the scope of the game. Combining these words and using the first letter from each word creates the word parts. Picking one example from the article, I would briefly like to discuss how Nintendo managed to both create value and capture value. Nintendo was already getting popular, and major retailers like Walmart and Toys R Us wanted to buy huge amounts of game consoles to sell to their end customers. Nintendo argued that it could not supply as many as they wanted and agreed to a lower amount of supply if the retailer agreed to lower margins. In this way, Nintendo captured value from the retailers. On the supplier side, Nintendo was using standard technology and had several suppliers building and supplying consoles. Nintendo ensured that these suppliers were in competition with each other. Nintendo pushed down the price and was able to capture value. A game console needs games. Nintendo gave a license to several game producers. However, it limited the amount of games each license holder could produce, and it also made games itself, thus ensuring that Nintendo was able to capture most of the value. Players have substitutes. They can use other games or other console providers, or they could do something else during their time. Once the game grew in popularity, this created network externalities. Nintendo had many customers, many players. It also had many games available to its players. Nintendo's position to negotiate grew on all fronts. It was available or able to capture even more value. Finally, Nintendo had been using characters provided by Disney in its games. Nintendo was successful in creating its own character, Mario, and was able to license it to companies in other industries, thus once again creating further value. Business in networks is a game of value creation and value capturing. I once met a group of Taiwanese mobile phone manufacturers. they were wondering, how is it possible that they make all the phones of a certain brand but get paid only 10% of the retail price of a phone? Value creation and value capturing does happen. You just simply need to be more aware of when and where.